Hey, I hope you're good. So last year I uploaded a video called Daft Punk Synth tutorial where I showed you how to do Daft Punk synth sounds on the original hardware. I've had a number of comments, messages and emails asking if I can do the main riff from Rollin Scratchin, so here we go. So the original riff was done on a Juno 106. I don't have a Juno 106, I've got a Juno 6 from 2 years prior. It's very similar, although it would be ideal to have a Juno 106 because it's got midi and this hasn't, so I'm having to do a bit of a workaround. The other bit of kit you need is a Boss HM2, the heavy metal pedal from the 80s, which is a massive part of the sound, as we'll see. So we'll do the synth first, and then we'll do the pedal. So this is the basic sound of the synth. The most boring sound you've ever heard. So all that is a square wave set with its pulse width slap bang in the middle, with the sub-oscillator cranked all the way up as well. Then we've got noise at about 3/4, no high-pass filtering. The low-pass filter is set to about 4, so it's got some scope to open, as we'll see. Resonance all the way up, that's key. Then the envelope amount is set to about 2 or 3. No LFO modulation. Keyboard tracking is on. The VCA is gated, and then when we come to the envelope, we've got no attack, no decay, no release, and sustain all the way up. So you could say, well, why don't you just have the VCA on the envelope as well, seeing as that's basically a gate? And the reason is you might want to just tune that in relation to the filter. So that's why I've done that. So the only other thing we've done is we're using this bender down here on the bottom left, and that can bend the pitch, but it can also open and close the filter in relation to where you've set it up here. So the amount you dial in is how much it's opening and closing the filter. And the reason we're using that is because you can pull it to a point and then let it go and it snaps back to the middle, so you can get it impossibly accurate, which you wouldn't be able to do if you were manually moving the filter there. And now onto the pedal. So here's the sound before. And here's the sound after. So what are the settings on this pedal? Well, it's just everything maxed out, which is what you normally associate with someone who has absolutely no idea what they're doing with a piece of kit. Just reminds me of being at school and kids cranking bass, middle, treble, gain, reverb, everything to max, because that's better, right? But in this case it is. So pushing level and distortion to the absolute max just obliterates the sound, compresses it, pushes all the harmonics together, and just makes it huge and thunderous, which is what you want. And then you've got these 2 EQ boosts that have got quite an extreme amount of gain. So I'll show you the low and the high. So the low boost is designed to give a frequency boost where the bottom string of a guitar would be, which is around here down to that E. So I'll show you how much of a difference that makes. So, and there you go, maxed out. It's a huge boost. And then the top end as well also gives a huge spike at the top. So without it, and then with it, and it just helps exaggerate the sound and make it larger than life, basically. So now just going back to the filter settings for a moment. So we've got the filter cutoff, the envelope amount, and the sustain level on the envelope. So if you don't get those quite right, it doesn't work. So here it is. And if I move something, now I've messed it up. Messed it up. So you do have to tune those in so that you get that bottom note properly. So for the riff, there's 3 variations. There's down to up. Then there's just up the octave. And then up to down. Etc. So with the bender settings you've got here, and obviously how much you're moving the bender itself, there's a wide range of variations you can get as to where the resonant point of the filter cutoff is. So in the original track, there's obviously specific points they get it to. So you can spend hours and hours figuring out exactly what those are. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you the principle of how you get the sound, and then you can do that in your own time. So there we go. So for all the people who've sent me a message asking me to show you this, I hope that answers the question for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.